Alright, welcome back to part two. So these sand pile volumes, you can see roughly 3 football fields long. This picture is great. Just the hazy morning dew makes you feel like you're on some kind of alien planet or in the middle of the desert. Here's another picture to kind of give you scale of these piles. On the left, you'll see obviously the real world picture and their corresponding scan in the office software on the right. We use Leica C10 scanners and Leica Cyclone software to process it. So if you're not familiar with 3D scanners, it's basically a souped up total station that's spinning a laser 360 degrees while it's rotating 360 degrees, taking pictures all along. And it basically collects millions and millions of points into what's called a point cloud. And these point clouds, here's 4 different scans, and kind of working counterclockwise from the top left from scan 1, much like from field camp or plane spatial. You're going to do a traverse with your 3D scanner. So you'll set up on A, you'll do a foresight and a backsight, and then after you scan, you'll move to B. So in scan 2, we've now moved to the foresight, which is B, and we backsighted our previous setup A and foresight to our future setup, which would be C, and then we'll run a scan. And then on scan 3 in the bottom right, we're now set up with the scanner on C, and we've backsighted B and foresighted D, run a scan, and then finally scan 4, set up on D, doing a backsight and foresight, running a scan. And you'll continue this all along your project until, since 3D scanning works with line of sight, you feel like you've got everything covered. So here is all 49 scans that it took to get this project completed. The benefit of this is we could do this in a day. With traditional surveying, having to hike up those enormous piles would have taken at least a week. So it's very the benefit that you're going to save in field costs is tremendous. So when all these point clouds get stitched together, it's called registering. And since you kind of do it traverse with known coordinates, the software is going to do it for you. Otherwise, if you do it the other method with targets, it's a very laborious process. And with 49 scans, the post processing would have taken a lot of time. The Leica software will allow you to view your point clouds in different variations. Here's an intensity color map that shows the intensity that the laser was recording, but the most useful view is the image texture map. Since it's taking pictures while it's scanning, it maps those pictures and gets the real world colors to all these different points in these point clouds that just have millions and millions of points. So in order to calculate the volumes of these sand piles, this very large pile, we need to start cleaning up these point clouds and remove all the data that we don't need. So here a lot of that data has been removed from the outskirts, but we still have like those conveyor belts in the middle of that horseshoe shaped sand pile, and some trucks and tractors that need to get removed. Here's a detail. You'll see a tractor in the top right, a bulldozer that was coming in and out and taking sand from this sand pile. And as we scanned from different locations, we were getting different scans on this one surface that was causing a lot of issues with modeling. It's creating these jagged edges because there was so much noise from the different scans that weren't matching up. So you have to clean that up. And here is the clean with the conveyor belt removed and all the noise removed, and then we're able to model it, get some cut and fill volumes that the client was needing, and show them some elevations. Likewise, behind those were 2 smaller piles that we needed also to get volumes on, but the tough part of this was there was a concrete wall, a circular concrete wall that wasn't allowing us to get behind them. So I had to model that in Cyclone, and then off that 3D model I made some 3D break lines that would allow me to break up the point clouds and model them individually, because there were 2 different materials. So on the left and the right you see the 2 different modeled piles with cut and fill volumes that were given to the client. So applied concepts that I kind of use throughout all the projects when I'm working. Of course, geospatial plane measurement 1 and 2, as well as field camp 1 and 2, obviously taught me a lot about field procedures and calculations, running traverses, level loops, all that's used out in the field. The error corrections and on how to limit those um, were always utilized. Satellite positioning, geodetics, and all the GIS courses taught me a lot about just basic GPS and how it works, and just being able to work with it. NGS and project control, uh, being able to set those and use those, and basic understanding of projections. Working in Texas, you have the state plane coordinate system, just understanding how all that works. History of Texas land ownership, cadastral systems, and legal aspects. Pulling dignity and calls, junior senior rights. A lot of those courses that were taught by the RPLS felt like SIT and RPLS prep courses that you might get at a TSPS symposium. Very useful information. Visualization, hands down. For me, being a manager and QCing people's work and wanting to send out a quality, good-looking product that's, it's a piece of art. You take pride in it, and teaching our CAD techs about white balance, color theory, typography, and being able to critique all their plats and just make them and teach them how to make them look and take pride and make them look just like an amazing product that we're able to give our clients. So useful concepts in retrospect that I wish like maybe were covered in more depth in school, doing courthouse research, going to the appraisal district, going to courthouses, utilizing all those resources. You do it once, maybe in field camp, and it's just not enough. And this is coming from the training manager in me, taking interns, taking new hires that are just so green. And I understand that the majority of my knowledge was on the job training, and it's your experience over the years, but it's always helpful. Nobody wants to be the guy that just doesn't know anything. Going along that, CAD techs, I know AutoCAD is a required course, but maybe more specialized. Teach them a little bit of Carlson, how to draw deeds, how to, import raw traverse data and process that. Um, Business and legal aspects. It would have been great to go over kind of contracts, what constitutes a verbal contract, written contract, master service agreements, any kind of billing and accounting, finance um, courses, or at least short courses would have been great. GPS, uh, just setting project control, adjusting and correcting GPS data using Opus, and being able to set benchmarks, teaching those types of things. I got very little GPS training. It was usually total station level loops. Actually, I don't think I ever touched GPS besides the online course that I did with the RPLS, but that's going to be the tool that's used mostly in right now, and just getting, graduates to be familiar with that. Like it's the, tool that it's like the back of their hand would be tremendous. So my overall experience, I mean, it's not an internship. This is my career at this point at L&V. It's fantastic. It's a company owned and led by professionals who are experts in their fields, whether an engineer, an architect, or structural surveyor. The owners themselves, the L, the N, and the V, they promote a family environment. They know each employee personally, and they take time and they invest in their employees' relationships, both in the office and outside of the office. I am fortunate to be able to work with a team of surveyors for the last, many of us, 5 to 10 years. We're a group of talented and dedicated individuals. We come to work not just to make money, but for each other, so we can continue to work with each other. And it's fantastic to be able to work at a company, a firm that's multidisciplined. I'm no longer pigeonholed into just doing oil and gas work, even though that's kind of where the money's at, but it's cyclical. So being able to diverse and do more traditional surveying, civil surveying, construction staking, environmental surveys such as frac ponds and site management, helping out the structural and architectural departments, just so many avenues to to learn and grow as a professional and as a surveyor, and being able to diversify is just an amazing place to work. So I think that's it. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed it.